Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Another little upload to Political Minute. Everything's basically saying exactly as it is that I said last night. It was a bit of a ramble on the bombing in Nashville. This is basically just Christian supremacy backlash out there. I sent in a bunch of tapes to the Library of Congress over the fact that there would have to be a Christian backlash for so many Islamic suicide bomber situations. If there's anything there, they are saying they're looking about remains being found. With all the planning, there could be a sacrificial person put into it, even if it wasn't a bomber, because the bomber, being religious, I don't believe killed himself. But I believe that if he was cornered, he would have something where he would kill himself. Um, the audio on it does sound very much like that it is a person who is just as everything else. If you were a true follower of the faith of Christianity, you would leave, you would go away, um, and then with fire cleansing and everything else. And then there's possible remains or something that seems to be remains that could be human that's found around it. They were saying that there was 3 people injured in it. Whatever that could mean out there with it. And then they're saying then later, right after that news bite, 20 minutes later, that no one was injured and no one was hurt. I don't believe that he killed himself. The message on there is the exact words on it being played are exactly what I would think. It seems to come out of several areas around here, being honest with you, especially from the subdivision that hasn't surrendered itself in any way, shape, or form to the United States at World War II. And says that it's been in resistance against them since George Washington rejected the Alvin America family and Catholicism at Valley Forge, as well as that which is the United States Continental Congress and everything else, but accepted the Mark of Independence from the Pope at the time that's in the Washington Memorial. I also say in a lot of movies around here, if you see any of those where they hit the Washington Memorial, it actually hits right in the same area. The same people that go on that actually talk in that cadence, talk in that way, do that all the time in that same cadence. And I'm telling you, this is just a war criminal situation with having so many war criminals here. And they've probably gotten someone enthralled because the person is saying it almost exactly the same way as the ones from Mimic say it. No one will believe any of this stuff. I've told them over and over before. I've sent everything in. I even say that, and it's like, don't worry, we'll get our judges on. And it's like, our votes count. And it's like, as war criminals, they can't count as a vote or anything else. And they will just take over each little city, same as anything. And this is so much end of War of 1812 all the way to 1829. It doesn't really matter for it. And all the presidents that will be in here will be megalomaniacs probably up until the 1845 era and think that they're the last strong president, even if it seems like they're not. I don't know really how else to say this or anything. People will just be like, it's Al Qaeda, it's everything else. They've got a nationwide lasso loop network. And I tried sending one thing in on it from a bunch of the crimes that they had done earlier with the mass shootings and stuff from Odessa, Texas, on around up into New England. And you could just see that it was going that way. And they did it back in the 80s at the end of the Cold War and tried to do a whole bunch of stuff. They've gotten better at food and other stuff type poisoning rather than causing deaths and just causing crippleization, because they've learned that crippleization is that. It's what moved us out of Korea, Vietnam, and everywhere else. And that's why they don't have anyone really registers deaths, because of private security. Sorry for the angle here, but I hope you have a wonderful day. And, you know, just remember, they will never say that this is a form of Christian extremism, and it really is a form of Christian extremism. They talk about the third group moving in and out around with whatever group it is, and other groups like that. I'm not really sure how to say anything, but it is pure on every way out there. Christian extremism, targeting people for sacrificial propaganda, everything else over basically since Ferguson. In lead up, then they had their little, go around the country and make a noose basically, and continue on that way. I just hope that we can somehow survive this. Colin Dawson, like and subscribe to Political Minute.